Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another review for Boruto Naruto Next Generation Chapter 80. And now that Chapter 80 is done and in the books, wow, just wow, do we have a lot to go over. While this wasn't a super action-packed chapter, there were a few moments that moved the needle in a way where it quickly becomes clear that Boruto's manga is getting way more serious than we ever imagined, especially when it comes to Sasuke Uchiha and now his daughter Sarada awakening the Mangekyo. But with my initial thoughts out of the way, let's back things up and let's dive into the recap portion of the review. So the chapter opens up where the last one left off. Boruto is currently drowning in despair as he's running away from Konoha with a team of some of the most elite Konoha shinobi after him, ranging from a bloodlusted Sage Mode Mitsuki to Sasuke to Konohamaru, which for all the memes we have of Konohamaru, he's still an elite Konoha shinobi from Naruto's generation. Meanwhile, after Shikamaru asked Eida to confirm what it was, she just told him that Naruto and Hinata are dead and that Boruto is the one that kills them. Kawaki shows a display of force by threatening Eida in a very subtle way by grabbing her by the shirt when she hesitates to answer, and with a simple glance, she knows exactly what will happen if she does not do what he wishes, which is Kawaki will kill her. While looking away from Kawaki with a sad expression, she states that Naruto is indeed dead, and once she does what Kawaki wants, he releases her, and we can tell from the expression that she's wearing that Eida realizes that her Prince Charming is actually a wife beater, and in that moment she realized that Kawaki might be more red pilled than she thought, and even worse, any relationship that she'd have with him would definitely turn abusive because Kawaki's not above using force, which makes sense given his upbringing from his father and Jigen beating him for years whenever he didn't live up to expectations or do what they wanted. The ramifications of Eida going on with Kawaki's plan are felt immediately because Mitsuki, upon hearing that Boruto has killed Naruto and Hinata, Mitsuki, if he wasn't already bloodlusted, he's beyond it right now, and he powers up with this chakra aura and he flies off. Sumire, upon hearing this information, quickly puts the information and all the pieces together, realizing that this has to be the work of Eida, and she once again proves that she'd been born in Naruto's generation. This girl would have been ranking pretty high up in the Anbu Black Ops, which makes sense given that her father is a high-ranking member of Danzo's root organization. The way she quickly jumps to the conclusion of Eida being at fault and why it might have been the case is really impressive, especially when you consider she's only 12 years old. Upon hearing this information, knowing that Mitsuki's gonna try and kill Boruto, Sarada drops down to her knees, unable to process the information she's been given, and we see the tears welling up in Sarada's eyes because she knows there's nothing she can do to protect Boruto right now. This leads to Kawaki stating that everything is going according to plan when Eida asks if he needed to go this far, to which Kawaki just doubles down, stating that now there will be nobody in his path that can stop him from killing Boruto, and goes as far as to say that once Boruto and Code are killed, he will unseal Naruto, which is very interesting right now. We now see the goalpost being moved a bit here. First, it was needing to protect Naruto from Boruto because Boruto was an Otsutsuki, and he said he unsealed Naruto once Boruto was dead. But now he's saying he'll unseal Naruto once Boruto and Code are dead. It's a small detail, but it shows something alarming. He loves Naruto so much that he'll keep him locked away until he's absolutely certain that there's nothing that can do harm to him, which I both understand and I pity the character for, because on one hand he's so devoted to Naruto and wants nothing but the best for him, but I absolutely pity him because on top of stripping away Naruto's free will, the man who Kawaki deeply loves, he's also not truly grasping that the world itself is filled with dangers, and part of the beauty that comes with living life is facing those dangers head on when you have to, but most importantly it's appreciating the moments of bliss and serenity that you have with your loved ones as well. Kawaki placing Naruto in a place where everything runs still, where Naruto is asleep, all in the name of protecting him. It's so ironic. He's a child doing this to a parent, when in reality in most situations it's the parent who's overprotective of the child, wanting to shelter them from the horrors of the world for as long as they can, with some parents saying that they wish they could keep their kids forever in their innocent phase, just as Kawaki currently has Naruto suspended in an infinite phase of protection where he can't be harmed. It's then that Damon comes flying in and grabs Kawaki, stating he'll kill him if he did anything to Eida, which is very telling. Had Damon had seen Kawaki manhandling his sister to make her do what he wanted, Damon probably would have given Kawaki fans the same pain that Code fans still have PTSD PTSD from every time they see Damon. Meanwhile, Sasuke finds Sarada, and when Sarada tries to get through to him, she realizes that Sasuke's acting just as strange as Mitsuki by saying that he's gonna kill Boruto, and it's then that Sumire speaks to Sarada, which is both interesting as well as something that might be a plot hole moving forward. Allow me to explain. Sarada and Sumire are still connected via the Yamanaka clan's hidden jutsu, which lets people speak telepathically. Now, this is fine, it makes sense, but this would mean that whatever Yamanaka clan member who was being used to connect everyone, very likely Ino, would be privy to the conversation as well. This is a very cool moment. Again, we see them communicating, which means the hidden jutsu is still in effect, but this one scene makes me wonder if they're ever gonna have anything that comes to this, because there should be a third party listening to this conversation. If this is never addressed, that's a potential plot hole. However, Sumire quickly tests Sarada by calling out to her and seeing if Sarada's mind has been messed with, and upon seeing that Sarada is indeed fine, Sumire reveals the workings for her hypothesis as she speaks to Sarada. Meanwhile, Boruto, as he's running away, notices Inojine's Super Beast scroll in full effect, and as he's watching the bird, Chocho uses the Akimichi clan's hidden jutsu, the expansion jutsu, to enlarge her hand, but Boruto sees what's happening a second too late and gets smacked across the forest a few feet, and Boruto quickly learns that when there are two members of the Inoshika-cho team, there's likely a third member, and he learns this when Shikadai grabs him with the Shadow Possession jutsu. Boruto, upon seeing Team 10 interrogate him and accuse him of killing Naruto, briefly loses it by asking them, quote, how could they have the balls, end quote, to accuse him of something like this, and the standoff between Boruto and Team 10 continues. On the other side of the forest, Sarada is told to calm down by Sumire, who says that she believes that Eida is behind everything that has happened and thinks that Eida got involved to save Kawaki, and that she somehow turned everyone into the planet into her prisoners under her control, and that only she and Sarada are immune to the effects of it from what she can see, which leads to Sarada getting emotional as she realizes the truth, all while confused as Sasuke checks in on his daughter. Sarada flat out starts speaking loud enough for Sasuke to hear her as she cries, stating that it's not fair that this always has to happen to Boruto, and it's in this moment that Sarada grabs onto Sasuke, telling him that everything that he's been told is absolutely not true. After Momoshiki offers to kill the members of Team 10, we have a controversial moment that for some reason has divided the fandom from what I've seen. Sarada has awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan as she begs Sasuke to listen to her. Some people have said that this is divisive, and others, such as myself, say this makes absolute complete sense. I've seen people use Tobirama's statements that were made in Naruto chapter 619 in regards to this, but when Tobirama was speaking about the imbalance in the brainwaves of the Uchiha, it was specifically about the Sharingan, the base Sharingan, which is basically when an Uchiha feels agony over the loss of love or self-disappointment, a special chakra is released inside the brain that changes the optic nerves, thus awakening the Sharingan. With the Mangekyo Sharingan, this is where the controversy comes into play. Here's the thing, traditionally the Mangekyo is awakened via seeing a loved one die. And every version that we've seen in Naruto's manga, the anime, and the light novels, seeing the death of a loved one or a close comrade led to the Mangekyo awakening in the small number of Uchiha who possess the potential to awaken the Mangekyo. It's for that reason that the Uchiha believed that they needed to kill a close comrade in order to awaken it, because they were associating death with awakening the Mangekyo. Madara and Izuna awakened the Mangekyo after killing the close comrades. Shisui and Fugaku awaken it after seeing close comrades die. Obito awaken it after seeing Rin die. Itachi awaken it after seeing Shisui die. Sasuke, after Itachi died, tried to suppress the Mangekyo from awakening in the Naruto Jinraiden novel I'm covering here on the channel, but he too eventually awakened it over the trauma that came from the death of Itachi, which was something that he saw with his own eyes, just like all the other Uchiha. There are a bunch of people mad that Sarada got the Mangekyo and she didn't see anybody die. They're upset that the Mangekyo reveal happened while she was blubbering to Sasuke to save Boruto, but personally, I have no issue with it. A sense of heightened emotions that came from the shock at hearing that Naruto was dead, a sense of helplessness at not being able to protect Boruto from those who are hunting him down, and the icing on the cake was basically hearing her father about to run off and kill Boruto. All the other Uchiha who canonically awakened the Mangekyo, they all did this as an avenger. Sarada awakening Mangekyo Sharingan right now did so as a protector, driven by the love of her comrade and wanting to prevent him from dying, which is hammered home when she begs Sasuke to protect Boruto because she feels helpless at not being able to do so, and symbolically basically because her Sharingan is shaped in the sun pattern that Kishimoto drew back in 2015 in one of the last pieces of art that he drew that was Boruto related. The firstborn child of an Uchiha, after the cycle of hatred between transmigrants is broken, just happens to have a sun-shaped Mangekyo Sharingan representing a new day rising for the Uchiha. It's brilliant writing. I'll go further in depth in another video later on this week, but I wanted to address this now in the review because I see a lot of people pissed off about the Mangekyo, so I'll timestamp this in the video. Now, this moment is followed up by Momoshiki mocking Boruto when he tells him not to attack his friends and doing his best to try and push Boruto into despair so that he is so emotionally worked up that he gives up on the will to live, which confirms something we said before here on the channel last summer. Momoshiki is counting on the yin chakra in Boruto to break, which will in turn allow him to take over Boruto's body for the first time, with him not being low on chakra and for an extended period of time. Basically, Momoshiki in full control at Boruto's full power. However, what I love about this is that Sarada's Mangekyo scene that so many people tend to hate right now is actually foreshadowing for why Momoshiki's plan failed, and it's for a very subtle reason. When Sarada is screaming at Sasuke to save Boruto, the text is all wiggly, just like the chakra of a person who's trying to disrupt a genjutsu. Sarada's words are breaking through Sasuke's psyche, who is under Eida's control, and only those words are done in that manner on the whole chapter itself. It's intentional. This leads to Sasuke saving Boruto from Team 10, and Sasuke flat out tells Boruto, "My memories are of Kawaki being Naruto's son, not of you being Naruto's son." Eida, upon seeing this, tells Kawaki that she's leaving. You can tell from Kawaki's expression, he knows Eida's going to check on Boruto, but he can't do anything because Eida's with Damon. Meanwhile, after getting far away from Konoha, Sasuke and Boruto stop for a moment to rest, and Sasuke tells him that they can rest here for a while before needing to move on because a team of elites are still after them. Sasuke tells Boruto that seeing his headband was a red flag for him, and so is the fact that Sasuke can sense Momoshiki inside of Boruto, which is alarming because Momoshiki should be inside of Kawaki, and upon hearing this, Momoshiki starts to freak out. Sasuke says that his own memories are unreliable, but despite knowing this, he can't suppress the force inside of him telling him to believe his memories, but he says even though he can't trust his mind right now, he's gonna trust in Sarada, who told him to save Boruto, and he'll give his life in order to keep that promise he made to his daughter, which drives Momoshiki crazy. Momoshiki tells Boruto it doesn't matter if he has Sasuke as an ally, nor does it matter if he kills Eida. This Shinjutsu will remain intact whether she's dead or alive. It's then that Boruto calls Momoshiki out on being worried, and Momoshiki continues to be unhinged with a really great panel by Ikimoto where we see Momoshiki shouting at Boruto, telling him to give up control of his body to him. After this, Eida lands in front of Boruto and apologizes to him for everything, and Boruto says he already knows that himself and Kawaki have switched roles. Eida says that this feeling, the power that she unleashed, it wasn't the first time she used it, and that the last time that she did so, it made everyone a prisoner under her control, to which Boruto tells her that it was her desire that triggered it the first time, and that the second time, it was Kawaki who triggered these current events. Boruto tells Eida that he's far from okay, but now understands Kawaki more than he did before, and now realizes how good he had it growing up. The feeling of being alone is something that Kawaki has felt his entire life, and Boruto never realized why it would have made Kawaki angry every time Boruto said that he understood him, which Sasuke listening to this likely got flashbacks when he snapped at Naruto for the same thing when he was 13 years old. After Eida says that Kawaki still views Boruto like a brother, and Damon yawns like a savage at how boring he's finding all of this, Sasuke retells Boruto the story of Naruto, telling him that Naruto grew up like Kawaki and like how Boruto's currently living, where everyone hates him, and he says that if Boruto's truly Naruto's son, then he has it within him in order to endure this, and this absolutely drives Momoshiki crazy because he knows this will pull Boruto out of despair, and he's lost his chance to take over. Boruto, due to his mind linking with Momoshiki, answers Momoshiki's internal monologue by saying that he's got the blood of the 7th Hokage, the blood of the Hyuga clan, and his grandfather was the 4th Hokage, which is why he won't give up or stop considering himself a shinobi of the Leaf Village. Boruto takes responsibility for driving Kawaki to this point, placing everything on him and saying that he'll grow stronger to stop him and resolve everything, which leads to Eida's panties getting wet as she asks Boruto if he's really 12 years old, because without saying so, she's acknowledging that Boruto's a lot more mature than his age. Eida tells Boruto that she promises not to use her Sharingan to track Boruto as long as he stays away from the village, regardless as to how much Shikamaru and Kawaki try to force her, which means Damon is gonna have to try and stay with her at all times. Boruto tells Eida to thank Sarada for sending Sasuke his way and to tell her not to worry, and Damon finally stops yelling to tell Boruto he better grow strong enough to give him a proper fight, which now gives Boruto a bit of a benchmark in terms of power. He's not going to have to just get stronger than Kawaki, but he's going to have to get so much stronger than Kawaki and Jigen that he surpasses Damon, which means we'll be getting into Baryon mode and Ishiki Otsutsuki levels of power, because Damon is currently the strongest fighter and Damon is stronger than Jigen, but he's weaker than Ishiki. Sasuke then cuts all the talking short, saying that they're still being hunted down by multiple elite teams and they have to leave now, which this is mad ironic right now. Sasuke is officially a rogue ninja once again. His probation was conditional on the Hokage extending it. Naruto is gone, and logically speaking, whoever, very likely Kakashi, steps in to be the Hokage now that Naruto is presumed dead has no reason to extend it, but we'll talk about that in another video, because I got a huge hot take that is about to be coming here on why Sasuke being a rogue ninja right now makes a lot of sense when you look at Sasuke's journey. But we're not going to talk about it here because that really isn't for this review itself. It'll take the video off track. We end this chapter off with Code revealing that he's been affected by Eida's Shinjutsu despite being in another dimension, and is now vowing to kill Boruto. Kawaki states that he will kill Boruto because he can't live as long as Boruto, because Boruto is a full Otsutsuki, which is a reminder Kawaki's karma stopped extracting Ishiki's data at 80%. When he got the karma again, it merely gave him access to Ishiki's power, but he's still 20% human. Genetically, most of him is Otsutsuki, but he's still human when you boil it down to it. Boruto, on the other hand, is full-blown Otsutsuki. Boruto ends off the chapter by saying he's going to make sure everyone knows who he is, Boruto Uzumaki, and the chapter ends off giving us the message we're moving into a new chapter of the story, which we can now safely say is the time skip, because Boruto Volume 20 got announced today. Is going to have a extra chapter most likely, because the price for Boruto Volume 20 is higher than normal, which is something we saw with a couple of Naruto volumes. Most famously, Volume 43 was marked higher because the total number of chapters exceeded the normal length. Now, this chapter flat out changes a lot. We had a lot to go through in terms of build up, especially post Ishiki, before we got to this point, but you can look at what Kodachi did in chapters 1 through 53 and what Masashi Kishimoto's done with chapters 54 through 80. We have a lot of the foundation set up for the second half of Boruto's story now. We're now officially in the part of the story that is Boruto's story. The story of father and son is now concluded, which is going to lead me to my chapter question. What will you most remember Boruto Part 1 for in the manga format only? So nothing from the car actuation arc, nothing from anime episodes, purely the manga events. While you think that over, click here to show some love to my Chainsaw Man Chapter 127 review.